But I would just, something would just touch me that call on this person that is always there for you. And then I would be like, okay, let me call. And then at the end of the day, I would just have this narrow escape. And it was always happening and happening and happening. So, and I've not really had this father figure in my life, like my whole life. I've never had the father figure. Most of you that know me, I talk about mom and all, but I've never spoken about that. So I was like, okay. And he's like been there, like he's like father to the fatherless. Yes, thank you. So I just tend to make him my hero because he actually did something for the whole world. Like when I said I want to talk about him, they were saying African hero, but this hero is a hero to the whole world because during Easter celebrations, the whole world celebrate him. During Christmas seasons, the whole world still celebrate him, and this person is Jesus that came to the world to die for all our sins, and he's there for everybody because even when he left a gift for each and every one of us, which is the Holy Spirit. And irrespective of what you do, once you call on the Holy Spirit, you would see that there's a superhero, there's a hero there for you to always be there to save and rescue you.
Wow. Please. That's amazing. Please, one more time, a round of applause for him. Thank you for that, Dagogo, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Over to you. How did you feel when he was presenting?
Well, I was thinking maybe he's talking about his father, but when I heard Jesus Christ, I said, yes, he's right. Because truly, Jesus Christ is our Father. And having left the Holy Spirit, like he said, I thought he was actually going to mention the Santa Claus gift and all that. But he said the Holy Spirit. That was indeed nice. I like the presentation. Thank you.
Well, since he left us with the gift of the Holy Spirit, like he said, we'll just take 1 minute's break, just briefly. 1 minute's break for those of us who would like to take a glass of water, refresh our mind, and ease the tension so we can as well come out to present. Shortly, we'll be back again. We remain active on this show. My humble self, Zeal, and
blessed be.
Thank you.
In 2022, somewhere in the city of Lagos lives some extraordinary personalities. They are bold, resilient, strategic, smart, and creative. The African Empire reality TV show Season 2, The Gladiators Edition, accommodates the finest breeds of gladiators from different hideouts of Africa, living together in a classic empire to entertain the world with lifestyle, games, creative tasks, and more. With lots of amazing rewards, which includes branded car, over $15,000 for the winner, and runner-ups, plus consolation prizes for top winners. So catch up with the excitement every Sunday to Friday by 6 p.m. and Saturdays by 5 p.m. on NTA2, DSTV 369, GoTV 114, and StarTimes 104. Also streaming live on YouTube at African Empire TV. For partnership and advert placement, call or WhatsApp +234 913 36 32077. African Empire reality TV show, empowering and promoting African youths. Brought to you by News Crypto.
Relieved to continue with us. This is African Empire reality TV show sponsored by News Crypto, and we are on set for a presentation which is
on our African heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome 21st.
Don't worry. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, first of all, I'd like to open the floor by saying that, to me, an hero is not supposed to be perfect. An hero is not supposed to be a supernatural human being. An hero is simply an ordinary person with a supernatural cause. And the greatest lesson is actually learned from their imperfections. So on the 11th May 1981, the world received the shocking news that one of the greatest artists of all time had passed away after a 4-year battle with skin cancer. He was just 36 years old when his life was cut short in a Miami hospital. And his final words to his son, Ziggy, was, "Money can't buy life." The great African giant is Robert Nesta Marley, popularly known as Bob Marley. Jamaican singer, musician, and a songwriter, considered one of the pioneers of reggae. His musical career was marked by fusing elements of reggae, ska, and rocksteady, as well as his distinctive vocal and songwriting style. Now, Bob Marley's contribution to music increased the visibility of Jamaican music worldwide and made him a global figure in popular culture to this day. Over the course of his career, Bob Marley became known as a Rastafari icon, and he infused his music with a sense of spirituality. The greatest hit album, Legend, was released in 1984 and became the best-selling reggae album of all time. Bob Marley also ranked as one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with estimated sales of more than 75 million records worldwide. Internationally, Bob Marley's message continues to reverberate among various indigenous communities, and over time, he has evolved into a global symbol which has been endlessly merchandised through a variety of media. As he ranks amongst both most popular and the most misunderstood figure in modern culture. Truly, Bob Marley is a part of the collective consciousness of Africa. Bob Marley was a Pan-Africanist who championed a free and united Africa through his music and strong ties to the continent. He believed that people of African descent are oppressed in Western society and should return to Africa, which he calls Zion, or the Promised Land. So I'd like to pick on few traits that I've learned, like few things that caught me personally, not generally. Firstly, first quality of a great hero is sacrifice. Bob Marley sacrificed his comfort, his life, to a great cause that has transformed Africa as a continent and the world at large. And also, another quality of a great hero is dedication. As dedication being the second attribute of a great hero, he solely dedicated his life to music irrespective of the cost. And fourth attribute is courage. Like Nelson Mandela would say, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So Bob Marley portrayed great courage by floating above his fears without sinking. That is a true hero. And also, fifth attribute I would like to say is determination. He was really, really determined. Bob Marley, through his life, displayed firmness of purpose. His determination has shown and taught the youths how to hold firm to their dreams and not give up. And also, loyalty. Even upon being one of the most successful and greatest musicians, he stood in allegiance to the cause of raising future giants. And finally, I would say again that an hero is not to be perfect. An hero is not a supernatural human being. Only an ordinary being with a supernatural cause. And we learn the greatest lessons from their imperfections. So boldly, I can say that Robert Nesta Marley, known as Bob Marley, also has played a major role in bringing Africa this far. But not just Africa, but also the world at large. Thank you.
Wow. That was nice. Can anyone remind me of any of Bob Marley's songs? Anyone?
No,
Okay, what's talking? That's all right. We move on to the next person, the person of our first queen, our former queen. We welcome on the stage Zuki.
My name is I'm here to talk about my hero. I call her my Amazon. She's a fighter. She's determined. She's Queen Amina of Zaza, popularly known as Zaria now. She was born into royalty, into the family of Bakwa Tarunku. She was born in the year 1533. She's the first female, she's the first Saraunia, which Hausa they call Saraunia, which means the first female king or queen to rule. She ruled for 34 years, and then she died in 1610. She's ambitious, she's determined. When she says she wants this, she gets it. She expanded her kingdom so large, and it was believed that she initiated the cultivation of kola nuts. So, Queen Amina now, like, people all say, like, everybody, a movie was produced last year with her name, like, a courtesy to her name. That was last year around, and towards the ending of last year. So, I see her as my hero. Whenever I'm determined, whenever I want to get something, I just think about her, and then I want to be like, I just want to be like her, because to me, I see her as my hero. She's a fighter. She's determined, she's ambitious. And I want you all to read about her. Just read about Queen Amina of Zaza. Thank
you. That's amazing. Please, a round of applause for her. Wow. She talked with high level of composure. One thing I admire about her is her charisma. Not to offend the first king, Terry. Please, a round of applause for her once again. So we move to the next person. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome Fine Wine.
Hello house, hello everybody, hello Nigeria, hello world. So I'll start from the definition of a hero, which is someone who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, and a noble quality. There are many more African heroes who are often not heard about as of today. We hear about the likes of Nelson Mandela, Amina, as my co-colleagues have said here. But there are other heroes that are often not mentioned, mostly women as well. So I want to be talking about them. But because of time, I'll have to call out just 3. There are many more. So I'll start with first hero, Sadiq Isaac. That's the man. Iskia Manfella of 1990 to 2008. Josina Mutemba Mikel of 1945 to 1971. That's a woman. Ahmed Sakau Torre of 1922 to 1954. Ya Asantewa of 1940 to 1921. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti of 1900 to 1978. And Mariam Amba, that's of 1929 to 1981. I'd like to talk about a few of the ladies that their name are always not mentioned, but they've played a very good role as far as African continent is concerned. I'll start with Josina Mutemba Makela. She was a key figure in the Mozambique struggle for independence. She was born in a well-known nationalist family. She joined the struggle still young and was the first to become active in a clandestine student group. Clandestine, the word means secret student group that fought for the freedom of Mozambique. She joined Mozambique Liberation Front called FILMD in 1960. She was the driving force behind the women's detachment Those are set of women that were given the chance to fight, to hold swords and, spears and arrows to fight for your freedom. Their country liberation in 1969 was from her, and later she got married to the first president of Mozambique. I'll talk about Asantewa of 1940 to 1921. She is often dubbed as the Joan of Arc, like a goddess, because of her braveness. She was a politician, war strategist, a political activist. In 1990, when the people's spirits were low, she led a rebellion against the British and defended the Golden Stool, which is the symbol of their Ashanti nation. Although it was later quelled by the British force that she was forced into exile in the Seychelles eventually, but she still remains the symbol of courage, strength in the face of oppression till today. I'll talk about our famous Fumilayo Ransom Kuti of 1900 and 1978. She was one of the key figures in the fight against British colonialism in Nigeria. She was the founder of the Abeokuta Women's Union. She was an instrument in the protesting colonial taxation as an activist. She also fought tirelessly for women's rights in political presentation and to empower the most marginal segment of the society. To mention but a few, these were the heroes and heroines in Africa and the continent at large that their names are not usually mentioned. But I had to bring them out today to create awareness that despite the fact that most men have been mentioned as heroes of Nigeria, we also have heroines that also fought to keep this great country together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fine Wine. Please, a round of applause for Fine Wine.
Okay, that was a nice presentation. Most of us really do not know some of the least heroes, but at least today we learned about them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So while we were having our conversations behind, when we got to this particular person, you were careful about it. Tell me your reasons and what are you expecting from this person?
Please, can we proceed?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome Dozer Boy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would love to talk about my African hero, who happens to be a woman, in the name of Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti was born on the 25th of October 1900 in Abeokuta. She stood out among the women of her time. She was a women's rights activist who fought against the military government and injustice, and also the abuse of human rights, of which we all know she is the mother of one of the greatest Nigerian singers, Fela Kuti. Her political activism led her to be elected to the native House of Chiefs to serve as the Oloye to the Yoruba people. She was also a ranking member of the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon, and also she was the first lady to drive a car in Nigeria. Unfortunately, she died from injuries sustained when she was thrown from the third floor window of her son's compound. And I think the federal government plans to immortalize her in the proposed 5,000 naira notes. Thank you.
That was very short and brief. Thank you for that presentation.
I must say, Dozer Boy, you deserve national honor. While he was speaking, you were blushing.
Ha!
My line.
When did you notice that?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dozer Boy. The next person we are going to be calling on set is a very smart young man I admire a lot, even though I've not told him this. He has very high sense of humor. I would love you all to put your hands together as we welcome
Young G.
Let's go, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. everyone present has been talking about one hero or the other. My hero is no one else other than, they call him Abamieta. Other people call him Anikulapo, which means one that has death in his pouch. Other people know him as Fela. But his original name was, he was born Olufela Oladapo Ransom Kuti. His father was an Anglican preacher, a vice principal, and one of the first, or actually the first president of the Nigerian Union of Teachers. And his mom was no other than the female rights activist, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. Fela was born on the 15th of October, 1938, in Abeokuta, the present-day Ogun State. Then it was under British colony. He was sent to the UK to study medicine. He deviated and went to study what he loved, which was music. He was very versatile. He was good with the instruments. He could play the guitar, he could blow the trumpets, the keyboard, and he was good at playing the drum solo. When he was in the UK, he formed a band known as the Africa 70. He and his very good partner, Tony Allen, which was his drummer for more than 20 years. One thing that was popularly known about Fela Anikulapo Kuti was his controversial lifestyle. He had issues with the government on numerous occasions due to his style of music. He was one of the pioneers of the known Afrobeat, and he had been arrested countless number of times. There were periods he was arrested, and people went on his behalf to campaign and do all sorts of things just to get him out of prison. In August 2nd, 1997, Fela was pronounced dead by his elder brother. That's a day after, on the 3rd. That he died of complications from HIV and AIDS, which till today, most of his widows still deny that he never died of it. One of the controversial stories that we all knew about Fela, or if you didn't know, now you should know. Fela got married to 27 women and make a statement to the government and say, yes, I am legally married to these women. They are not my slaves. I didn't kidnap them. He was arrested by Muhammad Buhari and was released 20 months after. One thing I loved about Fela, pardon me, I'm not using any notes, I'm just saying this from my head. So, one thing I loved about him was his resilience. He was very stubborn. We all knew that about him. He was a no-nonsense person. He said what he had in everything he said came from the heart. And that got him to the place where we know Fela to be right now. And as an artist, everybody looks up to Fela. He has influenced many artists in their pattern of music, their style of music, their dress sense, and everything. So Fela has been my African hero so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Young G. One more time, a round of applause for him. I've learned that Fela was a human rights activist, even as a singer. Like we said, some fought with guns to defend the interests of Africa. Some fought with their knives. Some had to lay down their life. But some with even their songs. That is what Fela represented. Please, one more time, a round of applause for him. So if you're just connecting with us, this is African Empire reality TV show sponsored by News Crypto. And we are on a presentation that says,
Our African Heroes. Okay, the next person on our list is none other. A man of wisdom, a man of integrity, a great poet, a lover boy. He's no other but Bestel. Bestel will come on stage.
Thank you. Nkrumah because he is someone I admire so much. Nkrumah because he is someone I admire so much, and we have these features together. He's very authoritative, and that is me. So Kwame was born in the year 1909, 21st of April, in a small town in Ghana called Nkrofo, and his parents resided in an area called Nzema. So he was named Kwame because in Nzema, male children born on Saturdays are named Kwame. And so Nkrumah came from the position. So once you are the 9th child, you are named Nkrumah. So that was how he came up with that name, Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah was a politician, he was a political theorist, and a revolutionary. He was the first prime minister and first president of Ghana, having led Ghana to their independence from Britain in 1957. He was an influential advocate of Pan-Africanism. And when I say Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism is a concept that looks at the fact that we all from African descent are one and we should be united. So irrespective of your country, irrespective of your ethnic group, as long as you are African, we all should be seen as one. That is Pan-Africanism. So he was a great advocate of Pan-Africanism, and he actually won a prize, the Lenin Peace Prize, which was offered by the Soviet Union in the year 1962, and he was one of the founding members of the Organization of African Unity. After 12 years of studying abroad, Kwame Nkrumah decided to do something very wonderful. He developed his political philosophy and organized some other diasporic Pan-Africanists. Those who were in support of Pan-Africanism, he called them together and he formed a party, which was the Convention People's Party. So after forming that party, something happened. He returned that, remember I said he was the first prime minister. So after some time, when Ghana gave independence in 1957, he returned that position. And in 1960, there was a change. They had a new constitution, and he was elected the president of Ghana. So during his administration, it was more like socialist as well as it was nationalist. Yes. So he really did a great thing. Like in Ghana, he turned things around. Like when he became the president of Ghana, there were most projects that at the time that couldn't go on. Kwame Nkrumah pushed them. He funded the national industrial and energy projects. He actually developed a strong educational system in Ghana, and he also made sure that the Pan-Africanist culture came to limelight. So these were some of the things that Kwame Nkrumah did. And Kwame Nkrumah is this kind of person that's very strong. Once he stands, he stands. Whether you are there to give your backing or not, once he's determined, his mind is made up. So, just like we know, power can be toxic. Yeah, power can really be toxic. So, a time came, Kwame Nkrumah became intoxicated with power that he, well, let me not say he actually forgot the goal, but I think that maybe sometimes in life, after lessons and series of lessons and series of lessons, the conscience of men is killed by their fellow men. So I think that was exactly what happened. So he now decided to turn the system around, in the sense that he started repressing other political parties. Not only that, he now looked for a way to make the country have one state. So in 1964, a constitution was raised, and that notion was moved and that nation was adopted, and Ghana became a one-state nation. So it was now just like one party. So he represented the nation and other parties. But then in 1966, something happened. The National Liberation Council came up with a plan. They imposed him in 1966, and that happened under the supervision of the International Financial Institution. And when this happened, the International Financial Institution had control over everything that Kwame Nkrumah had worked for the state, actually. So those projects he actually carried out in the country. They took control of those things, the state corporations, everything. So they were in charge of all this. But Kwame Nkrumah now left Ghana and went to Guinea. But to show you that a leader is always a leader, irrespective of your mistake, irrespective of your past, wherever you show up, that aura of leadership is always there. So when he moved to Guinea, he was honored with honorary co-president. So, and he died in the year 1972, 27th April to be precise. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bestel. Thank you. One thing about Bestel that never disappoints. And the lesson I learned about this presentation is do not let your power get into your head. Well, I wish Nikki was here to witness your presentation. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll go to the next question.
All right. You know, while we were preparing for this, I overheard someone say,
It's not ready.
my hero, my African hero is President Muhammad Buhari.
Okay.
I overheard someone say,
Are you sure you heard?
but I'm waiting to see that. I'm waiting to see that presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep the anticipation on. And the next person we are about to welcome, based on current Chicks ranking, she's performing really well. The coordinator of, have you heard this song, Gentility, You're So Stupid? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome and set this moment, Erica!
Hello everyone. My name is Erica and I'm here to speak about an African hero who is a ruler and let's say he's my African hero. His name is Shango of the Oyo Empire. Most of us do not know about him because he's not really that popular. So I'm just going to speak a little about him. The ancestral Shango was the fourth king of the town of Oyo, and Shango is an Orisha, a deity in the Yoruba religion. An Orisha are spirits sent by the Supreme Creator Olodumare to assist humanity and teach them to be successful on earth. Shango has numerous manifestations, including Ira, Agodo, Afonja, Lido, and Obongo. He is considered to be one of the most powerful rulers that Yoruba land has ever produced. He has 3 wives, which are Oba, Osun, after whom the Osun state was named, and Oya, whom is not really his wife, is actually a concubine because no dowry was paid on her. Now, Shango was known for his powerful acts. He was an oral tradition described him as powerful thunder and a mouth that spewed fire when he spoke. When a subordinate chief challenged him, he ruled. Many townspeople were impressed by the subordinate's feast of magic and deserted Shango. He was known for his powerful acts, as I said before, which his grandfather gave him thunderbolts, stones, which he used to summon thunder from the sky. The power made him known as the god of fire and thunder. Let's say in conclusion, Shango of the Oyo Empire is an ancestral hero of the Oyo religion, whose good works and strong capabilities brought about the prosperities to Oyo. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Erica. as she was presenting, I was looking closely. I was looking at 21st, and the smile on his face was impressive.
Okay, the next on the list is no other but a traditionalist and a true Igbo woman. Welcome to the stage, Kosi. Yes,
Thank you. Good day, everyone. My name is Kosi, and today I'll be talking about a woman I admire so well because of her courage in the person of Ya Asantewa. Someone has actually mentioned her, but she didn't go into detail. But today, I'll be going into detail to talk about her. She was born into the family of Kwaku and Iyapo in the year 1840. She has love for humanity. She's a farmer, she's a politician, she's a human rights activist. To mention but few, she's actually a lot of things. She got married to a man from Kumasi. She entered a polygamous home actually, and she had a daughter with this man. What actually made her famous is the fact that she pushed Ashanti into war for their golden stool, which the colonial master, the British colonial masters, intend to take away from them. This golden stool is their symbol of authority. And when the British masters came into play, they decided to get hold of this stool. And in the process of doing that, they managed to send some of their dignitaries, of their chiefs, their kings into exile, which this Iya Santewa brother happened to be a ruler at that point. But he died in the year 1894. And when he died, Iya Santewa installed her grandson into the seat of authority, which after few years, the British colony happened to get hold of him again with some few chiefs and sent them into exile. They were into exile, and the British colonies decided to intimidate them by asking for the golden stool, which came about a secret meeting in the royal house. They called out for a secret meeting, which they gathered to talk about how to return their chiefs to the town and how to secure their hometown and their stool of authority. There were a lot of disagreements, a lot of arguments, and a lot of fears. Iya Santewa happened to be among the people holding the meeting, and she's actually the only woman that has this courage to fight the British colonial masters. She stood up and spoke to them like, are we going to sit back and watch the British colonial masters take away our symbol of authorities? If you guys are going to sit there and watch them take away the symbol of authorities, take away our chiefs and send them into exile, then I will turn all your lion's clothes to my undergarments. After she spoke, she actually demonstrated her threat or her quest to fight that war by raising a gun and shooting before them to show them that, yes, I am actually ready to go for a war to secure my home and what I believe in. Which after they now gathered, agree with her, and take her up as the warrior to lead the fight, they sent with her 5,000 warriors or fighters to go and fight the white men. They now fought the white men in the year 1900. After the fight, they were captured. Iya Asatio was captured alongside 15 other persons and sent them into exile. In the exile, she died in the year 1921. And at the end of the day, this golden stool gets its independence in due time. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I love your attire.
Thank you.
Just like a typical Omoze woman. Please, a round of applause for Kosi One. The next person I'm about to call now, I just hope when he takes on the stage, he will not talk about the acolytes. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I welcome all the way from Liberia, Morrison.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you that really don't know me, my name is Morrison, but I prefer to be called Beta Morrison. And welcome to my today's presentation. You know, today we are all talking about our own hero. You know, the truth is that to become a hero is not something easy. There are a lot of characteristics that are supposed to be attached to you before we call you a hero. And you understand that as such, if we decide to talk about all the characteristics that are attached to people, we'll be here for the next 7 days and we won't complete what we want to do. So because of the limited time, permits me to talk about a female hero in just 1 minute. You know, somebody will ask, why is it that I am a male and I'm talking about a female? You know, that actually does not matter, because whenever we are having a discussion like this, it is always good to have the female being involved. And whenever they are involved, you notice that something good happens. You know, I've had an experience before where I went for a program, I went with a girl. Even though I had the highest degree, but because she was a girl, she was the one that was sitting, and then I was standing. So it's always good to involve the female in a discussion like this. In the next 1 minute, permit me to talk about a female giant. She's well known in Africa, even though she may not be too popular. She's well known in the United States of America, and she's also well known in Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Please clap your hands for her. As you may be aware, she's the 24th president of the Republic of Liberia. Besides being the 24th president, she's also the only female that has served as president in Liberia. And then besides that, she's also the only female that have been assigned or elected as head of state in Africa. And then as of 2012, 2010, she's been rated among the first 100 best presidents in Africa. And she have also been rated as one of the 10 best female presidents in Africa. And she has also been rated as the best president so far in Liberia. Why? Because she came as a president after our civil war. And then after the civil war, as you may be aware, Liberia was deformed. There was nothing in Liberia. That was 2003. We had nothing to show. But since she became president of Liberia 2008 till 2018, there have been history, there have been a lot of evidence, there have been a lot of proof that she is actually a giant of Liberia. For that reason, she served for 12 years, and then people will be asking, why is it that some of the guys serve for only 6 years and you serve for 12 years? That is because Liberia like her. Besides that, she also served as the secretary of the United Nations in Liberia, and history have proven that she has visited the White House in America 7 times. Ladies and gentlemen, there are more to be said, but because of the time, I'll leave you with this one. Thank you very much. I will Miss Morrison.
Beta Morrison. Thank you, Beta Morrison. Well, you know me as a woman, I'm a lady, and I love it when you talk about I relate as a hero. So thank you for that presentation.
And I really admire the fact that whenever he speaks, he compels people to listen. So your stage management is very important at this point in time. Thank you very much, Morrison. Please, a round of applause for him. All right, I would love to light up your moment as we look forward to welcoming the next person on set. This is a true gladiator. And as we progress, I would call him so he can show you what it takes to be a true gladiator. For the first time in this show, we will not move immediately after welcoming him. So he would give us some expression as required by the host. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome Palace God Sky. Man, one thing I love about this guy is his charisma. Please permit me to share the stage with him. Okay. I love him so much. Gladiators!
We are the real gladiators. Thank you very much. Please do it. Face these people and do it one more. And face your audience.
All right, please a round of applause for him. I love his positive energy. I must commend you, Mr. Sky. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, my able emperor. Yeah, actually, I've been waiting for this moment. It's my pleasure to talk about Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Yeah, I've been thinking. Actually, I wanted to talk about Ben Carson because I love that man very well. I've read a lot of his stories and things that he has done. But Samuel Ajayi Crowther was so different. I'll only bring us because of our time. Then probably if you have more interest about who Samuel Ajayi Crowther is or he was, you can go online and get the information. So permit me to ask some 3 questions, which I want that questions to ring in your mind, in your brain, in your settlement. After this show, before this show, and anywhere you're going. So one of the major questions I'll be asking everybody first now, is Samuel Ajayi Crowther a hero? Then the second question is, have you ever thought of scaling through something impossible? We all have this mindset of doing something, but have you ever asked yourself that, can I overcome this? Can I do this? Let me make an instance with an artist, somebody that wants to go straight into music. Let me make an illustration about those people. You know, you always have it in mind that music is not easy. To go to music industry is not easy. So can I be famous? Can people know me? You know? So those are things I want us to ask ourselves. And do you see yourself as hero? Please, do we actually see ourselves as hero? Yes. We are not only talking about the heroes. I am hero. You are all hero. For you to have been in this shoe, you are hero. Thank you very much. Now, more question you need to must work and how Bishop Ajayi Crowther scaled through the dark desert. All right. Now, Samuel Ajayi Crowther was a Nigerian linguist, a clergyman, and is also the first Anglican bishop of West Africa. He was born in Oshogun, that is Abeokuta. He and his family were captured by slave raiders when he was about 12 years old. I was asking myself, like, those are forefathers, those people that they face a lot of wars, a lot of threats by the whites. I always ask myself, how do they feel when they were captured? Okay, there was a little story I want to share with us, and I will just end the whole story about Samuel Ajayi Crowther. There's a story I watched when I was 6 years old, and as at last month, I say
I would like to know details about the story. It's about King Takunte. It's first about slavery. It's a story that touches mind. That is when you will know that it is not easy to be in bondage. If you know what it takes to be free, you know that it is not easy to be in bondage. For any of us that have maybe anything about being in prison, or maybe you are being captured by police, or you are being put in a room for days, for some months, for some weeks, you know what I'm talking about. But in their own cases, they are being tortured. They are tortured and they are not given free space to what? To move around. So Samuel Ajayi Crowther is a hero to me. One of my best heroes. Now, Ajayi was later on, before he was restored, when he was 12 years old, this took place during the Yoruba Civil War. That is Ogun Abeli. We call it Ogun Abeli. If you are Yoruba here, if you know what they call during Ogun Abeli, you will not even know how many children you gave birth to. Because the thing is just like, I don't know how to put it, but I really felt for them. Those people then, I really felt for them. So during the war, Ogun Abeli, notably the Owu War in 1821 to 1829, where his villagers Oshogun was sacked. Ajayi was later on resold. They turned it to a trading platform. It was later resold to the Portuguese. That's the dealers, where it was put on a board to be transported to a new world through Atlantic. Whenever they capture people there, they tie them with chains on their neck, on their leg, and for a year they will be on water. For more than a year, they will be on water, taking them from one country to another. Now, these are the things that Bishop Ajayi Crowther did. Now, Bishop Ajayi Samuel Crowther was born in 1908 in Oshogun, that is Oyo Empire, which is Abeokuta, and his educational statistics, he attended St. Mary's Church, Fora Bay College, that is Oxford University. Now, so Crowther was freed from slavery at a coastal port by the Royal Navy, the West African Squadron, which was enforcing by the British ban against the Atlantic slavery trade. Now, in Sierra Leone, Ajayi adopted an English name of Samuel. That's how his name come about. He adopted an English name, Samuel Ajayi Crowther, and began his education in English. He adopted Christianity and also identified with Sierra Leone's language. Then ascend and Creole ethnic group. He studied language and he was ordained as a minister in England, where he later received a doctorate degree from Oxford University. He prepared a Yoruba grammar translation of Anglican book. And of course, he is the first man that turns this our English Bible that translates it to Yoruba. That is Bishop Ajayi Crowther. There are more about Bishop Ajayi Crowther, but that's the few I can tell the world. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for him. He's indeed a very passionate young man. And if I must confess, irrespective of the discredit, he happens to be one of my favorite housemates. Please, a round of applause for Sky.
Okay, moving on to the next person. The next person on the list is not other but our Americana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Please welcome on stage. Easiness.
I answer it without my glasses. Yeah, I think I have to manage it. Are you are? I hope you're good. You're good. Yeah. You know, I just have to put it and I'm adapted to the weather. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, my name is Easiness. My African hero is not a person, but the first elected Mozambique president, which happens to be Mr. Samora Moses Machel. Yeah, Mr. Samora Moses Machel is the first president of Mozambique from the country's independence in 1975. Moreover, he is a socialist in the tradition of Marxism and Leninism. Mr.
Mr. Moses was also a Mozambique military commander and, of course, a political leader. He was born on the 29th of September 1933 in Gaza, province, Portuguese, Mozambique. Mr. Machel received his education through mission school. He refused to enter a seminary for a higher education, and instead he became a nurse in Maputo, the capital of Mozambique. The experience he had radicalized him, and after 10 years in the profession, he joined the clandestine, which is the Mozambique Liberation Front Frelimo, which later sent him to Algeria for military training. He rose quickly from the leadership rank and became Frelimism leader in 1970 after the assassination of Eduardo Mondlane. My hero marries 2 wives and had 8 children, which is Mrs. Josina Machel, which later died in 1971. Also unfortunate, my hero died as well. Yeah, my hero died in office on the 1986 when the presidential aircraft crashed near the Mozambique South African border and succeeded immediately by Mr. Joaquim Chisano. As we all know, ladies take no chill. The second wife, the remaining wife, later married to the late Mr. Sir Shiv Nelson Sagasogo Mandela. Don't mind, just a cracking up, you know. Yeah, a memorial to Mr. Machel was later held in 1999 at the site of the crash. Moreover, Mr. Samora is also a reference journalist leader. After a left-wing military corps in Portugal in 1974, Mr. Samora Machel signaled the end of Portugal's colonial rank in Mozambique, here in Africa. Mozambique attained its independence the following year, with the Machel as the first president. I, the Americana, would like to draw my golden pen here about Mr. Machel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, EasyNet. That was an amazing presentation. Well, I've never seen an Americana with a Yoruba intonation, accent. Please, a round of applause for him once again. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome my co-host. Put your hands together as I welcome Blessed Bay.
Thank you. Without wasting much of time, somebody already talked about Ahmed Toure. I'll just brief us a little about him. First of all, about his family background. Ahmed Toure was born on January 9, 1922, into a Muslim family in Farana, France, a colony of France. Farana is a town deep inside Guinea, situated on the banks of the Niger River. He was one of 7 children born to Alpha Toure and Aminata Toure, who were subsequent subsistence farmers. Ahmed Toure became the first president of Guinea. He is revered across French West Africa for being the first president to have dared to say no to the France. In 1958, France President Charles de Gaulle, under pressure to grant independence to the French colonies, organized a constitutional referendum. African colonies had the choice to approve the constitution and be granted gradual independence right away. Guinea is the only country that rejected the constitution and is the only country and has demanded its independence. In a famous speech by Ahmed Toure, he said, "It is better to be poor and free than to live in opulence and be a slave." He served from 1958 until his death in 1984. Thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation from Blessed Bay. And without wasting much of your time, I think I should just proceed.
Yes, please, please.
Yes. My presentation tonight is on the first black American to be the president of the United States of America, in the person of Barack Obama. This person has inspired me a lot, and I have learned so much from him, as it has to do with public speaking, stage management, composure, and personal charisma. Barack Obama, an African American who became the 44th president of the United States of America and the first African to rule the United States of America. This answers the question, can anything good come out of Africa? Of course, yes. Barack Obama in full, Barack Hussein Obama II, that's the second, born in August 4th, 1961 in the Honolulu, Hawaii City, United States of America. His parents married while they were students at the University of Hawaii. His father, Barack Obama Sr., a Kenyan who was an economist, worked for the Kenyan government in resolving economic issues before traveling to the United States of America. This makes Barack Obama's lineage trace down to Africa, as his father, Barack Obama Sr., is from Kenya. Picking Obama as my African hero is to contradict the misrepresentation of African race in the early age, which later led to enslavement of Africans by the whites. But the reverse became the case when Barack Obama, a black race, became the president of America, giving Africa an edge and completely breaking the jinx of inferiority complex as a result of racism, even though racism still exists in some regions of the world. With Barack Obama's emergence, it became clearer that there is no limit, absolutely no limit, to how far Africans can go in making global impact. This is historic for me. A man from the black race brought the white people under subjection and control for 8 good years, and he still remains a major voice globally. In post-colonial studies, particularly on Africa, British writers such as Joseph Conrad and Joyce Carey wrote books that were offensive to Africans and contributed to promoting racism. Books like Hearts of Darkness. The reason for these books had to do with the need to justify the slave trade and slavery. You had people say things like, these people weren't really humans. They are not like us. But Barack Obama postulated in many of his books that those books was an offensive and deplorable books that dehumanized Africans. To me, that was a heroic fight for Africans. Barack Obama is also known for being an iconic public speaker with very high level of eloquence, an exemplary pace setter. He is also a prolific author. He officially published his first book, Dreams of My Father, in the year 1995. This is the story for his search for his biracial identity by tracing the lives of his now deceased father and extended family in Kenya. The impact of Barack Obama cannot be overemphasized. Outside being the president, the first African to rule the United States of America, in 2009, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples and countries. His promoting peace led him to devise a strategic means of putting an end to a very popular terrorist, late Osama bin Laden. He oversaw the recovery of the U.S. economy from the Great Recession 2008 to 2009 and the enactment of landmark in healthcare reform, and also gave many opportunities to African countries to collaborate with the United States of America for the improvement of African economy. In conclusion, Barack Obama, his personality is the correct definition of who a true African is. Courageous, bold, strong, energetic, and full of dreams. With no limit to how far we can see as Africans, with no limit to how far we can go as Africans, to no limit to how far we can keep dreaming and overcoming, with no limit to how far our efforts can find fulfillment. Ladies and gentlemen, I advise tonight that Barack Obama should become a case study for all Africans, especially the young, who still have dreams to live and expectations to meet, that there is no limit to what they can achieve. And to our universities, Barack Obama should become a course of study to inspire young Africans and inculcate in them the right attitude to charisma and approaching greatness. Thank you very much. Once again, this is African Empire reality TV show sponsored by Newscrypto. At this point in time, I would take the indulgence of my king to say a comment, to commend every one of us for impacting ourselves in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I welcome the Igwe of this community. Igwe Nagwegu.
I greet you all gladiators. I want to say that was a very wonderful presentation. I think I love it. Keep it up. There will be more fun in the land.
Igwe na Gwegu, Igwe na Busi, Igbunuzo na Gwazo, Obodi Kwendumana. Over to you, Epero.
Hello, hosts. You did a good job. Well done.
Thank you.
But I'm still wondering why everyone were not involved.
Some of them didn't prepare.
All the same, you may sign out.
Okay, thank you all for participating. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something out of it.
Oh, yes.
Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, our viewers, for indulging and engaging with us up to this time. We really appreciate you. Thank you, as we look forward to engaging you next time.
Somewhere in the city of Lagos lives some extraordinary personalities. They are bold, resilient, strategic, smart and creative. The African Empire reality TV show Season 2, the Gladiators edition, accommodates the finest breeds of gladiators from different hideouts of Africa, living together in a classic empire to entertain the world with lifestyle, games, creative tasks and more. With lots of amazing rewards, which includes branded car, over $15,000 for the winner and runner-ups, plus consolation prizes for top winners. So catch up with the excitement every Sunday to Friday by 6 p.m. and Saturdays by 5 p.m. on NTA 2, DSTV 369, GoTV 114 and StarTimes 104. Also streaming live on YouTube at African Empire TV. For partnership and advert placement, call or WhatsApp +234 913 36 32077. African Empire reality TV show, empowering and promoting African youths. Brought to you by Newscrypto.
What's the difference between these two guys? Which one are you to be? The difference is access to crucial information and the knowledge of how to use it. As a #1 educational project in the crypto space, we offer free education, information, and the best indicators that you can use to become profitable in cryptocurrency trading. In short, we are Google for crypto. Our products include a web platform, mobile app and wallet, as well as the upcoming copy trade platform and peer-to-peer exchange. Our own cryptocurrency, NWC, was one of the best performing cryptocurrencies in previous bull run, making over 10,000% gains in under 1 year. This fact alone speaks volumes about its usability in our ecosystem, which is ever evolving. As the adoption of cryptocurrencies is speeding up, the biggest shift of fortune in history will happen. Do not miss your chance and step onto a train to a better future.
It's the African Empire Reality TV Show, Season 2, the Gladiators Edition, brought to you by News Crypto. It's the Africanempire reality TV show, Season 2, the Gladiators edition, brought to you by News Crypto.